Reference points are disappearing. Why you can't trust what you knew. Welcome back. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and in this second chapter of our Mandela Effect series, we're going to talk about something deeper than a logo or a lyric. We're talking about the collapse of certainty itself. Because while the most shocking part of the Mandela effect might seem like the changes themselves, the real danger is what those changes do to the mind. This isn't just about Fabrizi losing an E or Berenstain replacing Berenstein. This is about the gradual breakdown of your ability to trust your internal compass. It's about looking at the world and realizing the markers you once used to orient yourself, your reference points, are gone. A reference point is more than a detail. It's a psychic anchor. It's how we know we are where we think we are. It's how the mind stabilizes reality. When you're in a city you've never been to and you spot a familiar chain logo, your nervous system relaxes. When someone quotes a line from a movie you grew up with, you feel a flash of belonging. When you recognize a voice, a phrase, a brand, or a historical event, it signals to your body, you're still in the world you remember. You're safe, you're oriented. But when those anchors start shifting, the subconscious panic begins. The Mandela effect doesn't just change cultural trivia. It removes the tools your psyche uses to define place. When the Monopoly man loses his monocle, it's not just an optical design change. It's a tiny, precise act of disorientation. You know he had one. You see it in your mind. So how is it that now, officially, he never did? What else have you remembered wrong? And if you can't trust your own memory, whose memory are you living in? This is where people start to feel not just confused, but destabilized. Memory is identity. And when that memory is denied or contradicted by the world around you, a rift is created. You begin to feel split from your environment, isolated inside a version of reality that no longer matches your internal map. And here's the most disturbing part. This is not happening by accident. Reference points are being removed systematically, through media, through AI curation, through algorithmic rewriting, through platform consolidation. Whether this is by design or an emergent property of the system, the result is the same. Your trust in what was becomes harder and harder to defend, especially when you go searching for confirmation and find that every article, every image, every search result now reflects the new version. You're being outvoted by the machine. Search engines are no longer archives. They're consensus engines. They don't show you what was, they show you what's approved. And when reality is stored in the cloud, it only takes one silent update for history to be rewritten. But here's where this gets spiritual. Your soul still remembers. That's why Mandela effects feel so shocking. You're not just thinking, that's weird. You're feeling something off, something unnatural. The shift isn't intellectual, it's energetic. You know what you know, and the fact that it's now wrong creates a kind of friction inside you, a splinter in the psyche, a quiet war between your inner knowing and the external world. And this friction is not neutral, it's weaponized. The longer you live in a world where you're gaslit by the archive, the more likely you are to doubt your intuition. And the more you doubt your own perception, the more programmable you become. The removal of reference points doesn't just confuse you, it prepares you. It clears the space for replacement inputs. If the Monopoly man didn't have a monocle and Darth Vader never said, "Luke, I am your father," then what else have you misremembered? What else might you be wrong about? Politically, historically, spiritually? Once doubt sets in, the rewrite can begin. And that rewrite isn't just happening through censorship or information control. It's happening through the erosion of continuity. When the world becomes fluid, when the anchors are removed, the mind begins to float. And in that floating state, you will reach for anything that seems stable, anything that seems like solid ground, even if it's a synthetic script generated by AI. Now let's connect this to quantum time. Time isn't linear. We've covered this. We exist in a multiverse of parallel timelines, with overlapping branches, mirrored dimensions, and probability streams. What we experience as memory may not come from a past at all. It may come from a nearby timeline, a fork you once occupied, a version of reality your soul still remembers. And when the edges of those timelines blur, you end up with two versions of reality inside you, your intuitive memory and the external record. The Mandela effect isn't a glitch. It's the moment your internal record disagrees with the code of the external world. In that sense, reference points aren't just markers. They're bridges between timelines. And when they disappear, you lose access to the version of reality you came from. This is why you have to start treating your memory as sacred, not infallible, but sovereign. Because as the external archive becomes more editable, more synthetic, more machine-curated, your internal archive becomes your only true record. And that makes it dangerous. That makes it a threat. That makes you a threat. So if you're experiencing Mandela effects, if you feel crazy, confused, displaced, remember, that feeling is a sign you're still anchored to a deeper truth. The people who don't notice? They've already been updated. They're already synced to the version of history they were handed. They aren't wrong, but they've been edited. And that's the war we're in. The war for memory, the war for reference, the war for what remains true in a world that can be rewritten overnight. In the next video, we go back to the beginning, to the glitch that named the glitch, the memory that first exposed the split. We'll revisit the original Mandela memory and ask, Did his death in the 1980s really happen? In a version of the world we've since left behind? Stay sharp. Reality is not what it used to be, and maybe it never was. Hi, I'm Adeline Atlas, 11x published author, and what you just watched was only a taste of what's inside the Truth series, where we go all the way down the rabbit hole. If you're the kind of person who's always asking bigger questions, who knows there's more to this world than what we've been told, then this is your invitation to the series that was built for you. Inside the Truth series, you'll get full access to 6 mind-blowing sub-series designed to wake up your highest intelligence and decode the matrix we live in. 1. Locate the truth. Learn how to actually research, not just what to search, but how to verify, cross-reference, read declassified files, and protect your own mind from weaponized misinformation. This is truth-seeking decoded. 2. The Mandela effect. Are we shifting timelines? Why do so many people remember a different past? We break down the most bizarre, undeniable examples of reality glitches and what they tell us about consciousness and control. 3. Law is magic. Law is not what you think it is. From word spells to maritime law and hidden contracts, we uncover how legal systems use language like a wand and how to stop being tricked by fine print that binds you without consent. 4. Entertainment or ritual. The Hollywood and music industries are not just for entertainment. From Super Bowl rituals to Grammy stage symbolism, we decode what's really being shown, who it serves, and why mass consciousness is the target. 5. Decoding dystopia. Ever wondered why dystopian fiction feels prophetic? In this subseries, we decode popular films and books, Hunger Games, 1984, Black Mirror, to reveal the hidden blueprints and predictive programming behind the plot. 6. MK Ultra plus mind control programs. This one gets deep. From real MK Ultra documents to modern symbolism in media, we expose how mind control operates in plain sight and how to free yourself from manipulation you didn't even know was happening. And that's just the beginning. If this resonated with you, click the links below and join us inside the Full Truth series, because the more you know, the harder you are to control. This is your awakening. We don't just ask questions, we find answers. Let's go all the way down the rabbit hole together.